Hi. Oh, and Teresa's here. Great. Um, so Teresa's saying, "Hi, Hazel and Caroline. Working in my craft room this morning. I managed to put a desk back in here temporarily to work on some of the stash that isn't packed. Well, good for you, my dear." So Teresa, I see in the chat that you're in blue and you have the little wrench. So that means that if you wanted to, you could be the moderator in the chat today. So um, feel free to jump in and do that if as long as you're here and so on. Anyway, before while we wait for a few more people to show up, I just wanted to say that welcome. Judy G. Junk Journals. That's almost like a tongue twister. Hi, Judy. Um, we are here today. Caroline from Caroline's Craft Tree and I are here today for our second live play date. I'm calling it a play date because goodness knows there isn't much work being accomplished. I don't know. I don't think. Um, and the other way to view it is the blind leading the blind. Um, Hello, Penny Pudge. I just saw your name in Carrie's, the Paper Monkeys chat, and I do not know you at all. So thanks for popping in, and hopefully before too long, I'll know a little bit about you as well. So today, what we're talking about is using alcohol ink, and especially on things other than paper. Um, so I'm going to turn the screen over to Caroline because she has done some of this in the past and she can show you some of the projects that she's worked on. We are still trying to figure out how to avoid talking over each other. I think that we both, in our own way, get a little excited and maybe talk more than we listen. So we're going to we're going to work on that as well today. But here, let's have a look at Caroline's tabletop.
Hello, everybody that's in chat and have come to join us. So, when Hazel says I've done this before, I have kind of, but very little. So, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, it's going to be experimental and some things are going to be new. But you can see a few things down here that I have dyed, and you can see the difference. If I can lay that out, you can see the difference in the chain. It was just a silver chain, and I used some kind of purplish stuff on it. So it dyes quite nicely. So I've got a wide variety of stuff here that I picked out to do. If you watch the fabric dyeing, you know that I tried this, and neither one of them took the color at all from fabric dyeing. So I'm trying those. I've got these fastener things. I've got some, don't know what these are called, but they're kind of cool looking. I even brought some colored cheap bling stuff from the dollar store. We've got wood pieces, beads. This is actually plastic. I actually got that from Hazel. So I'm going to try doing one of those. I've got some cheap stickers, beads, etc., etc. So the other thing I'm going to use is I'm going to use this tray. Now, I think they're a paint tray. I got some at a thrift store years ago in case I want to put stuff in there and stir them around a little bit. So, and then up here, I've got a whole bunch of alcohol inks. I'm also doing an experiment. This here is diluted with rubbing alcohol, just alcohol, 99% alcohol. This is what I mixed it with right there. And I filled this little bottle half full of the alcohol, and then I put in 10 drops of the alcohol ink. I want to see what the difference is of the color of those. So that's experimental. I've got some Q-chips in case I decide I want to try painting something. But yeah, so just odds and ends, things I could think of that maybe might work, maybe might not work. I got a playing card. I've got a paint chip as well. So, and something else that I wanted to show was this here was a piece of, I believe it's like some kind of photo paper. And at the recent retreat, Terry, a lady that goes there, gave me a whole bunch of her throwaway stuff. And this is done with alcohol inks. So you can do some amazing stuff with it. So, and I'm going to try a big grading card as well. So yeah, so that's kind of what I got. And yeah,
Okay.
we're just going to go from there.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. I will maybe spend a bit of time, and again, the blind leading the blind, not an expert by any means, showing kind of the range of tools. And some of this, of course, you've already heard Caroline say. I have, this is my selection of alcohol inks, and I never set out to own alcohol inks, but a few years ago, probably at the time I was starting to have a channel, I saw this as an auction lot and bought it, thinking, well, okay, if I get it for a good price, it will be, I'm prepared to play with it. So what I did was make a swatch card. And as Caroline just said, using, like, I don't want to go to the expense of buying YUPO, YUPO paper. So apparently glossy photo paper is, kind of an option because it's essentially non-porous on that side. Oh, some past experiments. These are not a thing of beauty. However, if a person tore them into pieces, they could very well be collage fodder. So there's that. Excuse me. Another thing that in traditional alcohol ink use a person would quite often use is something like this. So it looks like a rubber stamp, and it has this Velcro. Oh hell, sorry. That Velcro piece is just stapled into the wood, and that just wanted to peel up. And then these are removable, these sorts of little pads. Again, I hate buying disposable stuff because, of course, that tends to be an expensive and not so eco-friendly way to do things. Included in that auction purchase was this blending solution. And there's almost nothing left in here. So, of course, I bought a new one that I've never opened yet. Now, all the advice says that you need rubbing alcohol, or you need isopropyl alcohol. And everyone recommends 90% or higher. So, of course, what do I have? I have 2 bottles of 70%. Like if one isn't really adequate, buy a second bigger one and of something that isn't quite right. So pipettes are a good idea, I think. I was watching some videos yesterday, and what one of the people said was that you don't want to aerosolize. In other words, you don't want to use an atomizer bottle, a spray bottle. So that's why all of these are dropper type things. So what I intended to do with my handy dandy little funnel is I do have glass dropper bottles. So I'm going to put some alcohol in there but I'll do that later. And what else? I guess I will show the items I'm intending to try to dye. They're a little bit different. Some of them are different than Caroline's. I looked through, we all have these sorts of parts cabinets in their basement or garage. I found that I had a number of these kind of no, these aren't Allen wrenches. These are open end wrenches. A million Allen keys. So, and you might be thinking, well, why would you want to do that? I'm thinking that these things, especially the ones that maybe are flatter, like so, or this one that has a hole, could be part of a steampunk journal. Because, of course, steampunk is one of the places where something like that in a different color might be very, very nice. These things, like if you buy a lock set for your front and back door, this is one of those key things that comes in the kit so that you can key all your um, knobs to accept the same key, not to have different keys. So I have stuff like that. I looked in a junk drawer downstairs and I realized that who knows why, but years ago, apparently I took off these metal things that used to be around floppy disks. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with them, but it's pretty soft metal and it flattens out kind of nicely. I have a couple of springs. These are hardware items that are supposed to stabilize something. And every time I say to my husband, well, what about these things? Of course, he comes up with another solution. So I have these things. I saw somebody doing some nice work on shells. So I picked a couple shells and I have this, what I consider kind of an awful looking shell trivet. So I'm prepared to cut this apart if necessary. I want to do paper clips. I have, whoops, not that. I have some safety pins. I have bulb pins, and you can see I have a lot of very shiny gold colored ones. I know that Kim gave me some bottle caps, but I didn't take the time to look for them. So I've got that. This I must have salvaged from some sort of probably a Christmas type thing. I have little plastic frames. Took the centers out so they don't get ruined. Some keys and some drop crystals from replacement ones like for a chandelier. I almost accidentally put these in to dye, and these are ones from a fixture we still have, so that would have been a blunder. Cheap pearls. This is like from a kid's birthday loot bag or something. Like, it's so awful. Some buckles. I think these are, well, no, that's a button, but these are like poker chips. And I even saw somebody doing a vase on a video. So I have this in case there's time to try that. But maybe it's time to share the screen again and let us actually dive right in. So, Caroline, question, and I've seen other people do this. If I want to start out simply and maybe do some paper clips, the best method is to just spray some ink, or not spray, but drop some ink into a plastic bag, right? And give it a shake.
You could do that. I did that with beads.
Okay.
And actually, I never even thought paper clips and the bulb pins and stuff. Those are such great ideas. I should have pulled some out to do some of those, but that's okay because I've got lots to do.
Yeah.
But that's also why I use this type of thing too, is I would put a few paper clips in there, put them in there, and then I can use my tweezers, turn them around, etc.
So you can't see this quantity, but say it's a handful. That's probably too much to throw in the plastic bag at the same time.
Well, it just means you would have to add more ink in there. But the thing with it being in a bag, it's not going to dry as fast either, because alcohol ink does evaporate, I guess, quickly
Yeah.
because of the alcohol in it. Or
Okay.
to my knowledge, it does.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to say is that when I first started crafting, I kept hearing people talking about barrier cream for your hands. So I Googled barrier cream, and then we happened to be in the States visiting my son and thought, oh, let me go to one of those American stores and ask for barrier cream. Well, of course, they looked at me like I had two heads. What I got instead was diaper rash cream.
Okay. Well, that would
So
work.
so earlier today I put a thick coat of diaper rash cream all over my hands, and of course it pretty well is, it's greasy. I have it on my keyboard and everywhere else, but I really wanted to try to protect my hands. I've double gloved, and I have the I have diaper rash cream on there. So anyway, okay, let's begin.
Okay. I'm going to start with these two things. And I'm going to paint, which is why I have the Q-tips. So,
I did see somebody on a YouTube video also using a brush, if I'm not mistaken. Mind you, I've watched so many different art videos lately that I could be mixing up two techniques.
that could
Um,
be.
so we're not supposed to shake this, are we?
I don't know. I shake mine all the time.
Okay. If it's good
Well,
enough for Caroline, it's good enough for me.
I have some copper, silver, and a gold, and it almost has like glitter in it.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of have to shake that.
So, based on your, mind you, you haven't had a chance to experiment yet, but based on your plan to dilute the ink a bit with alcohol, if I feel like one of my bottles is getting really down to nothing, I could use that. I could try that as well to reactivate it, right?
Oh, sure. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? It's not going to turn out. You know,
Well, and that's why I think that you're a great person to play with, because you're not afraid to try stuff and go outside of the box. You know, like with the diluting and so on.
well, the worst that could happen would be I'd throw away a thrifted item or a free item, so
So
that's not, not the end of the world.
yeah. So let's see what's happening in the chat. So Teresa is putting in channel links for those of you who want, to spread the word about yourselves. So Penny Pudge has a channel. So does Judy G. Junk Journals. Okay, cool. I don't seem to have any or very many of the sort of what I would call. Oh, here's one called Rust. I should try that. I'm going to
So
try that
here's
on the paper clips.
one of those circle things. All that I did was use the Q-tip to color around the edge.
Here, I'll make you big for a minute.
Oh, so there is
Oh,
one of those. So we got the before and after.
oh, that's cool.
Just
Don't you
just
think
by
that?
using the Q-tip and painting around that outside circle.
Don't you think that maybe those are earrings?
I think they are because they've got loops all here
Oh yeah.
to add something on. I got, I don't know, about 20 or 30 of them at a thrift store one day. And I thought, they got to be useful for something. So
Yeah.
I might as well paint this one while I'm at it.
And we know that our friend Kim loves adding dangly bits to. If a piece doesn't have those little loops, she just goes right ahead and makes some.
Yeah, she does. And you,
Caroline, do you treat your or seal or do anything to your finished items?
I haven't as of yet. Um, the alcohol ink, I've actually colored fishing hooks,
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't come off in the water.
really? That's good
And
to
the
know.
only way I've found that if you really want to take it off is use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and it will take it off.
Okay.
Well, at least the things I tried it. Like I
Yeah.
had alcohol ink all over my tweezers. There's still a little bit of purple that wouldn't come off, but it came off of all the end here
Yeah.
using just rubbing alcohol. So
Okay. I've shaken, this is like shake and bake. I've coated these paper clips. Now, because they're not quite dry, because again, they've been in this bag, I'm just going to drop them. I have like a plastic tablecloth off to the side, and I'm going to dump them there to sort of so they have a chance to air dry.
that's what I did with my beads. I just put them onto actually a paper towel, and I was okay with them being like different colors where the side that was against the paper towel was a little bit different than what wasn't.
Hi
Yep.
Carol. Hi Brenda. Brenda Clark is here,
Hi
and
Brenda. Hi Carol.
Crinkle Pather here. As I tried to dump this bag out, I realized that not all of them, because of course it was a mishmash of types of paper clips, different thicknesses, different, some are more ridged than others. It didn't take very evenly. So I just added more of the rust color and I will try that again. So maybe in the chat, you guys can share with us whether you have a lot of experience um, with alcohol ink dyeing, or maybe that's why you're here to see what you can learn from us. Which, again, no promises.
Hopefully you learn what not to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try some beads in my little tray
Okay.
using some
Cool.
green. And I just got, I don't know, a dozen beads in there. I'm just gonna squirt some. And I'm just going to use my tweezers, move them around, whoops, and get them all over the place.
Chase them around the studio.
Pretty much, yeah. There's advantages of definitely doing it in the bag. When I did the beads, I did some in bags and some like this here. So
Teresa says that she only has alcohol pens. I don't think I even know what that means. And Judy G says I've only used alcohol ink to make faux age tape. Uh, Carol says she has an unopened package of alcohol inks on her desk. So inspire me.
well, hopefully we do inspire you.
Carol says the only thing I've ever made with alcohol inks is tile magnets that we did at a family reunion. And I accidentally stuck them in the dishwasher and it all washed off.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's good to know that it kind of washes off.
Uh, tell the people, Caroline. You said you had gone to a course. Oh, this is what the really brassy bulb pins looked like. So some of you know that copper is my favorite metal. So that looks better.
I'm just putting all my beads onto this paper towel. If I was doing a big batch, I would do them in a bag and then dump them out for sure. But I'm just going to put these here just so then they can dry. And And I find with the alcohol ink, you're going to wreck stuff. Like if you get it on stuff that you might not want it on, it could be permanent. But yes, about, I know, I'm going to say it was probably 4 years ago. I actually took a day course at a local art studio on alcohol inks. Just we did some stuff on a ceramic tile, just like a little wall plaque type idea. It was fun. I don't really remember much of it, other than I know we put it onto the tile and we'd blow it to make it look like a flower or something. It was fun. It was like, I don't know, 6 hours or something, but it was a lot of fun.
So was the idea like, were you making coasters or trivets or something?
Yeah, like the trivet type things. They were, I don't know, probably 5 by 5 or something. The tiles, everything was supplied, and they turned out good. I wish I had a picture or something of what I did, but I don't, and I don't even think I have the trivet anymore. So I am going to. I got these stickers. Now these ones are silver, and these are cheap dollar store stickers. And I'm just going to color them. What color do I want? Let's do a denim blue color and we'll see what happens.
So I'm using my little paint palette here. Do you mix colors? If you want to have two colors, do you ever mix them in the same little well?
I have not tried that yet. And I don't know if the logic is the same behind that as actual, your whole color thing. So I'm just going to dump alcohol ink on top of these.
Oh. Carrie, the paper monkey, is here. Thanks for stopping by, Carrie. And yeah, we'll, like I was saying earlier, or maybe I just said that to Caroline, I stopped in at Carrie's live this morning and heard that she's finally willing to say yes to being a guest on Heart to Heart. So, yeah, we'll text or write or whatever and nail down a date. Carrie, I am wondering though how you're able to do a live in the middle of the work week. Are you on holidays right now or what's the deal?
Okay, so this is, I wanted to try a little experiment. And as you've seen, I just took these. Now this is a denim colored. And this was my diluted version where I filled this half up with the rubbing alcohol. I happen to have 99%.
Oh, just a minute. I'm going to make you big.
Okay. So I used the 99% rubbing alcohol. And I filled this little bottle up half full of it. And then I put in 10 drops of this denim blue. Now I colored this one with, of course, the solid alcohol ink. This one here was the diluted. Now, because there was so much on this, I did use the paper towel and just damped it on top. So the diluted stuff definitely gives color, and hopefully you can see the color on camera. Whoops. But this one here, the star shaped, really picked up the color. So this is a great way when you have those cheap stickers that you're never going to use them all. Just add a little bit of color and
yeah. So
Caroline,
you're seeing that in real life, and of course we're seeing it on a device of some sort. So what's your gut feeling about how that turned out? Would you use the diluted one? as a way to stretch your supplies, or is it not is the difference not big enough that it's not worth the trouble?
You can definitely see the difference. And I think it would be a great way if you wanted something not quite as bright.
Okay.
So I'm going to try. I've got, what other colors do I have? I have a caramel color. So let's do that one. And that's one that I've diluted as well. So let's try that on the next one here. Just,
Teresa is a purple lover like you and I. So she says that the moon looks a little purple on camera.
oh,
But
that's good. Because yes, it is. Even though it was done with a denim blue, it does have a purple hue to it. I think because of the silver below it.
well, count on our Teresa to have picked up on that. I feel kind of dumb that I didn't bring any. Well, maybe I could use a paintbrush. You have the what you may call it,
The Q-tips.
Q-tips, yeah, and I don't know that I have any nearby, so maybe I should just use a brush.
I use them strictly because I don't have a lot of paintbrushes right now, so
Oh
I
yeah.
don't want to use up all my paintbrushes. So here is this caramel color.
Okay.
And you can actually really see the difference in that. This is almost like just a tan or almost a golden color,
Oh yeah.
whereas this is like definitely brown.
If
So,
you had a white piece of paper to put under that, it might be easier to see if you have one within reach.
well, I got a paper towel. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
so the diluted is definitely a good way to go for a variety of reasons, just because you don't want it the same color. And of course, I could have added 20 drops to that and it would be in between these two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like those a lot. Better than, I would use these way more than I would use the silver.
I just wanted to. Oh, hi, Chiquita. I just wanted to show you. I put two different colors. This is pool and stone washed in a bag, and threw those two shells in there. And I think they kind of have a nice look. Now, if there was a bit of, a person could probably go in after the fact and maybe spray this with a mica spray of some kind, give it a bit of a sheen, a bit of a sparkle. So I think shells obviously take the color nicely.
Yeah, I'd never thought of shells, but that is like a great idea.
Yeah. I have this El Cheapo birthday party loot kind of necklace. So I think I'm going to try painting like you did, because monkey see, monkey do. I'm going to paint something on here. Or am I?
So I have these three. I've got silver, gold, and copper. And they almost have like a glitter in them.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
find they get plugged up really bad. Like, so the ink, the alcohol doesn't come out of them very good. And
Yeah.
that's also why I think some need to be shaken, because one of them actually has like one of those little ball things in it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
I
yeah.
thought that I read somewhere um, that these bottles are supposed to be stored upside down, because when I actually bought this stuff at that lot, an auction lot, They all were in a white, like every bottle had its own slot, and they were all upside down.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but of course, I don't want that gigantic container, so I switched it up. Uh, I changed my mind about this.
So this end one here I did with the copper.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And because of like the powder glitter stuff, like if I wipe that, some of it will actually come off, like the copper looking stuff. It almost makes it look rusted.
Okay, but
So
we know there are applications for that.
yeah.
Oh, Mama Juju's here.
Hi, Mama. Okay. What are we gonna do next? I'm gonna try one of these roses.
And of course, I think people who, and we might have said that at the beginning, people who haven't used alcohol inks before, because of the alcohol component, they do dry very quickly. And from what I saw in watching other people's videos, you never want to use your heat gun on them. Well, especially if it was like on paper. I saw someone actually trying to do, well, not trying, they actually did it, dyeing on vellum paper. And we know vellum is pretty touchy stuff at the best of times. And if you add heat to it, it almost, kind of curls up. And um, but so the people that I did see artificially drying their products were using hair dryers on a cool setting and a low speed. So if we were doing traditional, I don't know, that was probably a poor choice. Oh, I thought I picked up a blue. This is black. That wasn't so smart. Anyway, if we were just dyeing regular paper, this is one of those little blowy tools for moving the ink around. And so you can, just gently, you can control how much air you're forcing out, and you can turn it easily. And so, but
When I did the course, they had some of that stuff.
yeah.
That blowy thing.
Well, and the other see, this little tiny drop has already dried in here, although I suppose I could put ink in there, and I mean alcohol in there and reactivate. But
Well, I think isn't that what that little bottle of stuff was for that you never use? Isn't that what that does?
oh, the blending solution.
Yeah, I don't know for sure because I've never used it. I have some of it.
I think that is like if we were trying to get some really maybe a marbleized effect or something,
Oh, okay.
um, that helps blend the colors without them just sort of remaining little islands on their own. Um, so I don't know. Anyway, I that was probably, maybe I should do the center.
So I'm working on one of these gold
Oh
rose
yeah,
trims that didn't color. And as you can see, it picks up the color really good of with the alcohol inks. So I use this on the leaves. It's called bottle. So,
oh yeah, I have that
and
one
it's
too.
just a green. So the diluted stuff did color it just a tiny little bit, but we're going to do we're going to do watermelon for the flower and see what happens. And I'm just dropping it out of the bottle directly onto this and just seeing what happens. If it doesn't color the whole thing, I'm okay if it's a little variegated type. So the flower I'm just going to
Oh,
do.
oh sorry. Um, I was using my funnel and filling of the little glass dropper bottle with alcohol, and now I have it everywhere.
Oh,
Oh, stinky stuff.
Just don't drink it, Hazel. Don't drink it.
Yeah, I try not to drink before noon.
It's noon. It's noon somewhere.
Yeah. Well, who are you, Alan Jackson? 5 o'clock somewhere? Oh my God, that stinks. You know, I'm such a wimp when it comes to these toxic smells.
So yeah, so this is watermelon color. And it colored it very, I want to say it's pink. It's more pink than watermelon. And let's put it on
So,
to something.
yeah, you could add a second color in there if you
Oh
wanted
yeah, for sure.
darker. Well, I guess you can't go lighter, but you can go darker.
But you can see here where the green has ran up the strings and into part of the flower, which is
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I think ideally I'd probably color
Oh,
the
Sandra's
green
here.
and then I'd let it dry. But considering that these wouldn't take fabric dye at all, but there's
Yeah,
the difference in the color of it,
yeah.
which is quite
Pretty
a lot.
remarkable. Sandra from Blossom and Inspire is here. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
see the chat, by the way, so I rely on Hazel to tell me what's being said or what's happening, etc. I'm going to try this zipper, and it's like a tan color. So,
So is the zipper part is plastic or metal teeth?
I'm going to say it's plastic, definitely not metal.
Okay.
So, I think the top part here is metal, though. The little zipper pull.
Yeah.
Let's do sailboat blue. See what happens. And because it's kind of a tan color, we'll see what color it actually turns out. I'm just going to run a piece, or not a piece, I'm going to run the alcohol ink up. And of course, the more I add to the zipper, the more it spreads out into the fabric part of the zipper. Now the end part here, we'll see how it does for getting covered up. I do think with the alcohol inks, like you don't get a nice even color. Like you get a lot more like, I want to say variegated, but that's not quite the right choice. Mottled, maybe.
Yeah. I noticed on the videos that I watched where people were doing plates, like a dinner plate or a vase or something like that, that the lady was quite clear in saying that she had cleaned the surfaces with the rubbing alcohol before beginning the process. So that's probably, we know that there's, oil and whatever and soiling that happens from handling things. So cleaning, oh, these are kind of cool. These are those little plastic
Oh,
drops,
those
like
turned out nice.
yeah, like from a chandelier or something. So I used my rust bag, but the color I used was sunset orange,
Oh, okay.
and
I have sunset orange too somewhere. It'll be
yeah,
interesting seeing all these things at the end on how they
yeah.
turned out.
Well, and what you're saying is totally true because I'm sure you guys can't see this, but when I look at it, the coverage, it's not solid. It's not like I painted it with an opaque covering thing of some sort. So maybe I should throw it in there again. And again, it depends on the final look that we want. If we want just the sort of an illusion or an effect, then that's good enough. If we wanted a solid opaque coverage, we'd probably pick something else. Oh, you're doing your wood pieces now.
I am. I'm going to try them with just the caramel color.
So, and you're doing a straight,
I'm
dropping
going
it
to
out
do
of the
straight.
bottle.
I think the Scrabble tiles, I'll try the diluted as well. But just, I didn't know how the wood would react.
Wood.
But this is just a great way to actually, I guess, enlarge your stash by having different colors.
And I
So that,
think, sorry, I think that for a lot of us, we are driven, like our very first consideration is color. So, if the color you need or want doesn't already exist in your stuff, then make it whatever you need it to be.
so something interesting. This is like a wooden bingo piece,
Oh yeah.
which I dropped a couple drops on the top, but it actually went right through the wood
Oh, okay.
because I didn't do the bottom at all.
Yeah. Well,
But
yeah, that's pretty,
that's
wood is pretty
interesting that it went all
porous.
the way through so quickly.
Yeah. Caroline, I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a video the other day. It was a combination haul video and let me cover this up. Whoops. And an announcement video. And basically, I said I was quitting thrifting cold turkey. Of course, what I didn't say and didn't realize till later is that I have two thrifting videos, in the hopper already scheduled. So it's going to seem like, oh my God, she was able to avoid thrifting for a whole day. So anyway, Teresa's saying if you're going cold turkey thrifting and just need a different color, voila.
Well, yeah, and that's perfect. And it's funny you say that you're going to stop thrifting because Kim Newberg told me that she was going to stop thrifting for a little bit. And I told her, yeah, right. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I've told myself that so many times. I'm not going to go thrifting. And then next time I go out, I'm at a thrift store and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look, but I'm not going to buy. And next thing you know, I'm carrying a box of stuff out to the car.
Yeah.
So I just gave up saying I was going to.
Well, I'm determined, and I go into my rationale for the decision and blah blah blah, and it's been a while in the making because when I interviewed Sierra Cooley Craft Corner last week on Heart to Heart, um, there's always chat with the guest and also in the chat about thrifting and hoards and uh, never going to live long enough to use all this stuff up and blah, blah, blah. And I said it should be like a 12-step program where we all have sponsors. And when we feel weak, you text your sponsor or whatever, and they talk you in off the ledge. So it was just kind of one thing after another happened. And I figured, yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay.
Well,
Sorry.
with my luck, my sponsor would be like, I'm so mad at you because you didn't take me. So something else interesting. I did the Scrabble tiles. And I did this one with the regular strength.
Yeah.
This one with the diluted. I didn't do the backs. When you flip them over, thought this was really cool how the T has come out. But the alcohol ink has gone right through the T and through to the back. So that in itself could give a whole unique look to a Scrabble tile.
Yeah. Really
so I like how that turned out actually.
Yeah.
So
in the chat, Mama Juju is saying, Kim, stop thrifting. What is the world coming to?
I know.
And Sandra says, "Ha ha ha! My hubby just told me about another estate sale this weekend."
Oh, so
And
he's being an enabler.
exactly. Um, Wait, what do they call that? There's AA for alcoholics, but then there's that other group for family members or people who are living with an alcoholic. I just can't remember what that's called. Anyway, so maybe our spouses need and friends need to belong to the other group. Teresa is saying, interesting how it finds the pores in the wood.
Yes, actually, that is very interesting.
Okay, what is Sandra saying? But then I always think, what about all the canning in our pantry? It also may outlive me, but it doesn't stop me from going to the overpriced grocery store.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, and that group for relatives is Al Anon.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Carol. Oh, let me put us back on, or let me put myself big. Um, I have this strand of cheap plastic pearls. So if I want to just get a variety of colors, probably the best bet is to leave them on the string, but just cut a length off, right?
Yep. Or just string them along and drop some ink on a few of them and another few. I kind of did that with this.
Is that so? You did it like you dropped them on one by one?
Well,
You,
with this piece, I did. It's like a half back pearl,
oh, I see. Well,
and I thought,
that's,
well, wouldn't it be nice to have one that's kind of multicolored? So I just,
yeah.
put a drop of blue, put a drop of blue, put a drop of blue, and did the green, etc. And
And
that's what it turned out like.
that would work nicely
Yeah.
because they're flat backs and they aren't going to roll away.
Okay. So instead of bringing photo paper, I brought a giant playing card because I wanted to see how it would react on there.
Well, that should be interesting because, so is it pretty glossy?
Yes. And I'm going to do an experiment. I've got this sanding block.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to sand half of the card to get rid of that glossy and just scuff it up.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what the difference is doing that.
Let me try a pink.
And I don't have like a straw or anything like that. So I can't like move it around. So I'm just going to do some drops on here and just let it run down and see what happens. And I already can tell that I'm going to like the sanded side more, just because I think it's giving it a cool effect here, which I'll show in a minute. I should have brought like a straw or something so that I could like blow it around a little bit on there. But this will give me an idea of what's going on.
This is stinky stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not too bad in the long run. But
it probably wouldn't hurt to be wearing a mask. I mean, you know, a little
Yeah, if you
hard
were going to
to,
do lots of it, it
yeah.
probably would be a good idea.
And you weren't trying to be heard on a video.
That too, yeah.
I'll just go back to both, or to me, and show you. This is shell pink. Yeah, shell pink.
That's a nice color.
Yeah. And I did it in a bag, which
Oh,
makes me
okay.
think that I don't have enough clean bags in the works here because, of
Yeah,
course, don't really want to. Mind you, I guess I could get interesting results. Let's add another pinkish tone to the bag for the next batch. And is that color going through the card at all, especially where you scuffed it up?
a little bit, yes.
Oh, okay.
But if I was doing like a card for a journal, I'd probably back it anyways with
Yeah.
something to writing space. But I am just like blowing on it to move some of it around, which is kind of giving it a cool effect. I'll do just a tiny little bit more and then I'll do a close up of the difference of what part was sanded and what part wasn't sanded.
Okay, tell me when you want me to enlarge you. Oh, one thing I forgot to say that I had on hand were these makeup wedges, makeup
Oh,
sponges.
okay.
So that could have also probably taken the place, like been a substitute for the, what do you call them? Q-tips that you're using.
Yes.
Cool. You ready for your close-up?
Not quite yet. Okay. I think people can get an idea of what. So I just dribbled some down and then I put some and I kind of just blew it. But you can
So,
see this here is the standard side and this isn't. So don't know how much you can see. But the sanded side, you get all these little lines going in the direction
yeah.
that I sanded. So I really like how that affected it. So, I mean, this is not a very pretty piece, but gives you
Well,
an
if,
idea.
yeah, yeah. It would probably look more cohesive if the colors were more like closer to each other on the
Yes,
color wheel.
definitely, yeah. But I like how on it you can see like there was a bit of blue that came into here and just ran and gave a little outline.
Yeah.
And same here, like the colors kind of go on top of each other and blend it, which you can really see in this piece that Terry made
Yeah.
of, you know, adding different blues on top of each other.
Hey, I have a
So,
question. Do you have another card handy, and do you have something like a needle or a stick pin or something where you could sort of gouge little like do some mark making on it and see how it looks when it finds those lower points of.
Well, I could certainly get another card quick enough, so put it back to you and I'll be right back.
Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, so I threw a bunch of safety pins into this bag with pink. Whoops. Now, of course, because, they're touching each other and so on, there's not total coverage on probably on any of them, but it definitely is a different look. I might just throw them back in and add another squirt of, I don't even know, I think I was using this pink sherbet. Okay, let's see what Caroline's up to. So you're sanding the entire surface?
No, I only sanded half of it because I want to see what the look is. And then I've just got my pokey tool here and oops. And I'm just going to do some squiggly lines and see what happens. You never know until you try.
Yeah, it's probably going to turn out like that T did on your Scrabble tile.
Could be, yeah. Now I'll put a bunch of colors on here just to see what it's going to be like. I mean, if I was doing a project, I would probably try to I think if I was going to do this any amount, I think I would get one of those little blowy things that you have because blowing on it kind of gives you a headache.
Yeah, between the alcohol fumes and the blowing.
I'll be staggering around the house this afternoon.
Yeah, one crafter down. It's almost like you're making ink blot cards.
Yes. And actually, something I just noticed on this, when new alcohol ink comes in contact with the old, it does activate it again.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of letting this run. I don't want to get too dizzy and like pass out because I'm blowing too much on it.
I'd have to talk to myself then.
Well, like we said before, you do that anyway, so.
How would you know? Good guess.
I know your type, Hazel. I know your type.
So these are like little mini poker chips. They were white. I didn't bother cleaning them in any way, and I don't think they were particularly clean. Because, thrifted item. And they do want to stick together. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to spread them out to dry, but I also think I'm just going to try a makeup wedge on another similar thing to see if I get kind of a less mottled and a better looking result. So, a wedge.
So here is the card.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it could be actually really interesting. Not that the coloring is good because it's kind of turned to mud.
Yeah.
When I added some of the diluted stuff. But you can really see where I used this and marked it up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, if you did this and you actually use this to, let's say, draw a flower on there or a bee or something, and then you would get those dark lines in that shape, which I think would look really, really cool, actually.
Well, You know, with Halloween approaching, a person could do, and those colors, a person could do kind of a spooky tree silhouette kind of a
Oh,
look.
yeah, for sure. And this would make a great background because by the time you put a bunch of stuff on there, you're only going to see half of it.
Yeah,
So, and now that it's drying, the blue is coming out a little more from the brown that I put on. And of course, choice of color, what colors you put together would be really good. But I do like how the lines from this really showed up. And some of it came through, but not a lot of it actually. But I'm definitely going to try this by doing a shape of some kind on there.
yeah,
So, or even lots of scrapes, like going back and forth over the whole card.
yeah.
This definitely has possibilities, good possibilities, actually.
Sandra says, I'm so inspired to break out my alcohol inks. Well, thank goodness that.
It's about time.
Yeah, if you're like the rest of us,
Uh,
we
okay.
see these things, buy these things, forget about these things until someone nudges us.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I wonder if this thing was warped before I see this one. Lucky Cowgirl Motel um, is perfectly flat. I wonder if this one was flat or if the ink warped it. Anyway, maybe if I add some to this side. Now, of course, the danger of using a sponge is that, or a cotton ball or anything like that, is that it does soak up some of the ink. So let's see. Maybe I should try a different pink. Ooh.
I'm dyeing some of these cheap dollar store, I don't know what you call them, blingy stuff. Kim actually sent me a whole roll of this teal stuff. Beautiful color, but
Yeah,
so right now I'm just putting a drop, well, not even a drop, I'm just kind of touching the end of the alcohol bottle because these are kind of like, they're almost like a hole, like in there.
oh, here, I'll enlarge you. Do you want to lift that? Can you lift it up closer to the
Yeah,
camera?
let me finish this row of
Oh,
purple.
it's like a little divot in each one
Yeah, like,
that's
and
holding the
it's just
color.
like they've just kind of painted the inside, like, so it looks like three-dimensional bling, but it's three-dimensional with a hole. And I'm just going to take my paper towel because of the fact that there's like a little pocket there. But let's put some on something white here. But you can see how well that colored that.
Yeah. So a person doesn't need to buy those things.
You could buy
At
a
the
big roll of silver or
yeah,
white or something and then color whatever you wanted.
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
And it's still got the sparkle. It's still blingy.
Yeah,
So that's
cool.
actually really good to know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we're discovering things left and right here.
We are.
Okay, so this chip must have been warped to begin with, and I just didn't notice it. Yeah, so it's the Lucky Girl Motel, and then this supposedly is Mountain Rose, which to me looks kind of peachy. But you know, certainly this would be more eye catching rather than the white that these were to begin with. Now, Caroline, you said that when you are not sure what item exactly you were talking about. That if you, oh, chain, I think you were talking about chain. You said that if you need another color, you just quickly make some up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because of all this setup, the smell, the amount of time to round this stuff up, I don't know that I would want to do itty bitty batches of anything. But yet it is a way to sort of personalize the colors to what we need without like, I mean, I feel like if I'm setting all this up and making a big making a big mess, that I want to do a batch kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. But then on the other hand, maybe I only want one red thing or one blue thing. So,
Carol
so
is
it's kind of
nudging
like
me all
six of
the
one
way
and
from
half a dozen of the other. So,
Carol is nudging me all the way from Northern California to the middle of my screen.
oh,
At least she does it kindly. I'm going to throw in a couple of these blue discs into a bag with purple.
so I'm going to try a paint strip thing the same way I did with the card.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll turn out kind of the same as the card. But you never know. Being that it's different color, it might be kind of different.
So Caroline, we're at the well, we've been here an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
So maybe we should look around at all the stuff we gathered and see if there are some things that we need to try before we start winding down. Honestly, if a person wanted a cheap high, it would be you could put some ink in a plastic bag and then just, oh, I shouldn't be saying that on YouTube. There could be impressionable young people listening.
Yes.
Yeah, forget that.
Bad on you, Hazel. Bad
Bad
on
on
you.
me. On the other hand, I'm wondering if I've lost any brain cells during this last hour.
I don't have any left to lose, so I'm okay. So yeah,
I'm going. Oh, sorry.
I think on the paint chip you're going to get the same effect as the card. I can
Yeah.
see the lines going through where I've sanded. But you do get the different effect because you've got the different colors. So on the darker green, the blue looks way darker than, of course, on the lighter. I think this could be a good possibility to play with as well, for sure.
I'm going to throw some thrifted buckles, metal buckles, a barrette, and some silver keys into a bag. Oh, and this is not a real key; it's a decorative one, but this is metal. Uh, Maybe I'll leave that for another time. Okay. I wonder if it makes a difference if a person throws the items in first or throws the ink in first.
I don't think it would.
I just need to find some kind of sort of grungy type colors. Oh, this one is ginger. Let's try ginger. I still want to do a steampunk journal.
I want to do one too. I haven't done one. Well, I've kind of done one, but
I don't know if you ever saw that video of mine. It would have been when I came back from meeting Kim and Thelma last year because I bought a steampunk journal from Thelma.
oh, okay.
And it's only got about a 3-inch spine. It is so magnifico. But that doesn't mean I don't want to give it a whirl myself and try to.
So I'm just, I've got 5 pieces of chain, and they're kind of all different chain and different colors of chain. So I'm dyeing half of the chain, so then we can see the difference in the different types of chain and the different effects. And they're all in the same color, so.
Bye, Sandra. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, Sandra. Thanks for coming by and listening to us.
Well, she's the one that said she's inspired to dig out her.
Well, maybe she's going to dig it all out.
Yeah, she just left us in a lurch so she could go dig out her own. So how deep are those little wells in your little tray there?
They're probably about 1/2 inch.
Oh, quite a bit more than my little.
Yeah, and I mean, like say, I have like a dozen of them, and when I was looking for something when I was doing the whole beads, when I did my little tutorial on doing the beads,
Yeah,
it gave a good chance to try it. And I haven't tried this dragonfly yet, so
oh,
I've got some purple, so let's.
I'm going to make myself big and show the results. This
Okay.
was ginger. So it's very mottled looking. I like it. Now these little metal buckles I thrifted when I was still a thrifter. I thrifted, and some of them had tarnish and kind of oxidation or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right thing, but they were mottled and had marks on them. So see, this almost looks, I don't know if you can see, what can I, this almost looks like tortoiseshell effect.
Okay, that looks good.
Like, look at how nice that buckle is there. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
one has some texture on it, so it looks. We will have to allow time at the end of our session to do a real show and tell of, now that things have had a chance to dry a bit more. I like those. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm
the dragonfly.
Yeah, I'm just trying
So
a couple different ideas on it just to see what effects I can get on it.
You're trying to make him iridescent?
No, just kind of add a little bit of color and just to see how it goes on and
well,
yeah, see how it turns out.
Would have been a good answer because dragonflies are iridescent.
That's true, they are.
Teresa is saying that Sandra started doing consignment sales on her channel. Isn't that cool? She sold us a bunch of stuff for Denise the other night. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to tune into that because I think I was watching. I don't know what I was doing, but okay. So do you want to? Are you done with that? Do you want to hold it up close?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, it's still dry.
Not sure I like. This side I actually painted it on with a Q-tip. This side I just let it drip down.
Yeah.
And it was going good. And one thing I will say, the diluted stuff, when you add it on, it really runs into all the other colors.
The diluted stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's something to consider, I guess, when depends on how much you want it to spread, I guess.
Yeah. Now, if we were really doing this in a very scientific way, a person, namely you, could add some alcohol and lift off areas that you don't, that you aren't that happy with, right?
I would think that would work.
Teresa is saying that she loves the dragonfly, that it's very boho.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. I am going to share the screen, and these are those little plastic frames. So I think the best strategy here would be to try to, or not try to, but use a sponge, a makeup wedge, and that way I get, the most coverage probably.
Okay, now maybe I'm onto something here.
I'll turn you back.
So this was the side I painted on with the Q-tip. And then I took this diluted caramel color and I just put one drop at the end of the wing.
Yeah.
So then it could run down. And but the purple had also dried already.
Yeah.
Whereas this side here is just kind of mud. But
okay,
I like this.
But you could wet something with your alcohol and clean off the side you don't like.
I might be able to, yeah. So let's give that a try just for some. Actually, even just wiping it off because it's still wet.
Oh, yeah.
Took a lot of it off. So now I'm going to see. I might have to end up buying more alcohol inks if I get into doing this.
Or we could actually use up what we have. There's always that.
Yeah, we don't want to run out though.
Yeah, what if they
A
stop
junk
making
journaler's worst nightmare is to use something up.
it? Your worst nightmare?
Yep. What do
I
you always say?
feel
If
good.
one is good, two is even better?
I thought that was the Anaka farm motto. Another thing we like to say around here is, why buy it for $100 if you can make it yourself for $200?
That's right.
Oh, Lord. And I'm laughing, but it's not funny because it has happened. Maybe I'm going to put myself on for a minute because, okay, this is cranberry. And this, of course, was a shiny, brassy gold. Now that is already dried. I kind of really like this. Now, of course, I could use a pouncing.
You have me on big though. You might want to switch you on to big.
I do have, if you kind of use a pouncing. Oh, I need more. But, really, isn't that kind of more interesting than that? Especially if it goes, on a journal topper or something and the color is just right. I don't know why this doesn't want to squeeze out of here. Maybe it's almost empty. Hey, wouldn't that be something if I emptied a bottle right here on live TV?
No, people would have to believe you then.
And I think, I'll just repeat what I said earlier, that it is definitely a different look than if a person was going for a flat opaque finish. So if you can embrace that, then this might be the medium for you. If you want total coverage, it's probably not going to be the greatest thing.
Yeah, I think alcohol inks are made to give you that uneven look, uneven color.
I don't know. Well, I should try to empty this. Here, I'll put us back on, both of us. Oh, you're back to your silver trim there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it and see what happens, and it definitely takes the color without a doubt.
Oh, you know what I should do just before we um I did bring a bud vase to try um doing, and I didn't clean it with alcohol or anything because that seemed like a step I didn't want to do. But I will try that next just so we can say we did.
Yeah, I could definitely see how washing it would help.
Well, it's like when,
Because yeah, they do pick up the grease and
yeah,
of our hands and whatnot.
body oil, yeah. Um, it's just that, well, and you've got Ukrainian blood in you, that when ladies are about to, write those beautiful Ukrainian Easter eggs, you clean the eggs with vinegar first, just to again remove any foreign substance that might be on there that would prevent the dye from taking. This frame is small. It's 3 inches square, and honestly, it is hard to get around it without this drying. So maybe if I want to play around with this in the future, maybe what I should do is say to myself, well, kiddo, try to do a tortoiseshell look. That might be all that I can muster up before it dries. Okay, here's the vase. What color? What color? Maybe I should try green. I haven't done anything with green. And this is okay, pesto. I'll try this pesto one. This is probably like back in the day. Did you ever do any glass painting or glass etching
No,
when
I
that
have
was a
not.
thing? Caroline?
No, no, I haven't tried any of that. Thought about it, thought it would be cool, but
Lizzie Jean is here, and she's saying
hey,
hi, my
Liz,
Canadian arty friends.
Lizzie
Thanks for
Jean, I hope
joining
your
us.
knee is healing good.
Oh, did she? What did she do? Did she hurt herself dancing?
I believe she had a knee replacement.
Oh
I
dear.
think she had an operation on it.
Well, okay, Jean, tell us in the if we need to say some prayers for you or send
So,
chicken
so,
soup or something.
so here's
I
that silver
just
ribbon.
look at what
Not.
I did. I sprayed ink all over my
Uh-oh.
board here with I was overzealous, not paying attention.
It looks like it's covering the glass good.
Yeah.
And your glass mat as well as the vase.
But it's like my this thing is getting stuck. Like it's drying so darn fast, and I don't know, maybe it's because I have a light on. It's not a heat lamp or anything, but mm, maybe I have to tell myself that this was something hand blown in Italy or something, and that's
Well,
why it looks.
yeah.
Oh, and your butterfly or
So,
your
yeah,
dragonfly.
I think it turned out. I like the way the wings turned out.
Yeah. And since you always love Wait, what is that stuff? Shimmer mist. Can you imagine if you gave that a spritz afterwards? Um, how nice it would look.
Yeah, actually, it probably look pretty cool.
It would be like the real thing because they're
I'm not sure
so.
if the shimmer mist would stick to it though or not. It'll be something I'll have to experiment. So I've got these chains here that I did in the purple. And it'll give a good idea of
I'll make you big.
the before and after of the chains and what they look like. They've all been done in the same color of alcohol ink.
Well, it's a way to snazz up a cheap looking chain because
Oh
some of the
yeah,
chains
yeah.
that we thrift are just god awful. They're
And I don't
so
think I
bad.
would do this like with jewelry that I was going to wear,
Yeah,
but I will use these like in my slow stitching or
yeah,
in a dangle, that type of stuff.
yeah,
But the silver by far dyes the best. Like you can see the color difference in the silver the most, of course.
yeah,
But all the colors, even this one, which is kind of almost a black, not really a black, but a dark gray, you
yeah,
can see, and I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you can see that it's definitely a different color.
yeah. Cool.
So,
Um, okay, this I'll just show you this green vase again. Not a very smooth or even application. However, as you know, in the crafting world, nothing is ever done until we say it's done. So I could let this dry more thoroughly and go in with a second color. But as Caroline has pointed out, when we put a new alcohol ink on an old alcohol ink, it does tend to reactivate what's underneath and that we think has dried. This was pesto, so again, I could look at my swatch card here and find a contrasting color. Or I could go with a blue and see if I can do something like that. I think it's definitely drying very, very quickly. Um, so that was almost the same thing that John and I encountered when we were doing gel printing live. So again, it could be partly the light situation here, but at least we can say we tried. I have this metal piece. Now you can see that it's sort of an aged bronzy color. This would be the backing plate for a drawer pull or a door pull for kitchen cabinets. Um, so I want to see what happens. Maybe I should try a turquoisey color and see what happens if maybe I need my little blowy tool. I'm going to try this pool on here. Yeah, Jean is saying light and humidity are definitely going to affect drying time. Okay, Teresa, just a minute. I lost track here of what's going on in the chat. So Jean is saying it's okay, Caroline. PT, I'm thinking she means physio, is kicking her bum, and she doesn't recommend having a knee replacement. Well, okay. Teresa says her mother-in-law had a replacement months ago and is still recuperating. She had an infection, so that slowed her down. Hope you're doing much better. Um, Let me just tell you, I know somebody who had a knee replacement. It got infected, and he had to have part of his leg amputated. So, that is a real concern. And I think to Jean and anyone else who's ever had a joint replacement, the the healing time, the recovery time is really long. And if you're the kind of person, and I'm sure that's what I would do if it were me, is I would not be doing the follow up exercises to the same degree that they recommend, because I'm just, sort of exercise averse. That would be a problem. Um,
I know somebody that had actually both knees replaced at different times, of course.
yeah,
The first one was perfect. It was great. It healed wonderful. And then he had the second one done and he had nothing but troubles with the second one. And
yeah,
yet it was the same doctor, basically the same surgery, just repeated. And
yeah,
he did all what he was supposed to do, and
yeah,
was good about doing the physio and all that stuff.
yeah.
And he's had trouble with it ever since, and that's probably been 15, 20 years ago now. And he
Oh
still has
dear.
trouble with the one knee, and the other knee is fine. So,
And and of course, those replacement joints don't last forever either. It's almost time for a new one.
well, yeah.
My sister had both knees done, and she did them quite close together. And then she also had a hip done. So even though she's younger than I am, she's practically a bionic woman.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
tell people I'm part cyborg now because I haven't had a joint replaced, but I had valve replacement in my
uh,
heart, and
oh
they tell
dear,
me that it'll outlast me. The valve
uh,
will outlast me.
yeah.
So,
And I think, Jean, you just need to remember how much pain or mobility issues you might have had prior to surgery. And then that will help you remind you that, you probably couldn't have continued living that way because, I'm guessing because I know that like I say, I know people, friends, and others who've had it done, and they were at the end of their rope, and it was bone on bone, and so you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Can't live with the way it is, and yet the surgery and recovery is so intense that it does take forever. Okay, I'm going to make myself big so I can show you this
okay.
pull. So basically, I just dropped some of this pool color on here. Um, I guess I could maybe use my little blowy thing and move this a bit. And it's pooling here as well. This color might have been better on a copper colored thing, because then it would look like that verdigris that happens over time.
Yeah, I think there's good possibility on some items to make it look rusted and
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, this I'm not entirely happy with as you see it here, but I think that if I added, maybe I should go back to that ginger and see what happens. Okay, we've passed the hour and a half mark. Maybe we should begin winding up, cleaning up to the point where we can show some of the things.
That sounds like a good idea because I'm running out of things to dye here.
Well, after we've turned our cameras off, you can run
Oh,
and get some bulb pins, some keys, some. My technique here is kind of suspect, I think. This blowy thing isn't working that great because this is so textured that the air almost isn't strong enough to blow it over the ridges. But I've got the glove on, so I can. Yeah, this. I think there are real possibilities with this. I don't think it's there yet, in terms of what I will want. But man, oh man, it's better than what I started with. And I did buy a bunch of these when I found them. In fact, I have some that are even longer, which is probably not such a smart idea. This is 5 1/4, 5.5 tall, so that would almost be as long as you would want it if I used it as as part of a journal topper. Anyway, okay, I'm going to start. Well, let me put us back on together. I'm going to clean up. Oh, see, and I never even used my blending tool here.
Look at that. It's a successful dyeing day when when none of your fingers are colored.
Oh, yeah, good. And you didn't even use diaper rash cream.
No, I didn't.
And I didn't use my pipettes either. I guess a person doesn't need to with these little dropper bottles.
Yeah. I do like these little ones that I got. I got them at the local retreat that I just went on. A lady she had bought, I think she said like 100 bottles or something.
So
And
are they plastic or glass?
they are plastic.
And so they just have. Can you show a close up of the cover, or if the little doohickey? Oh, it's just like a little squeeze bottle.
Yeah. So the bottles, and then you put the lid on, which breaks this little tab, and then you poke that little drop thing in there, and yeah, they'll be great for, even if I wanted to mix colors or do something like that. Those would be perfect bottles for that.
Yeah. I am going to just do a wee bit of an experiment here. And since I got this alcohol ink everywhere, let's see if I can clean this glass mat off. I do have a rag here. Just going to.
I cleaned mine off last time by using a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, and it seemed to work good.
This is. Oh, it is working. Oh, God. I overfilled this bottle, so that didn't help.
Found there was a few spots in mine that I had to kind of like scrub it, like with a little little scraper thing, because it had dried right on there. But most of it cleaned off good.
And how are we going to convince anybody we're real artists if we don't have some stained stuff around?
That's right.
Okay.
You didn't have fun unless you made a mess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Do you have, while I'm getting myself set up, I'm going to make you big and you can recap what you did and how you feel about it.
So again, there's the chains. And I think they turned out good, and I'll definitely use them.
You're going to obviously dye the other half, or no?
Yes. Or I might just use them like that. Who knows? Yeah, I'll see how big of a piece I want in the project.
Yeah.
I like the possibilities of the wings in this, doing it with the painting and then just putting diluted ink on top of it. Great possibilities in that. I think there's great possibilities in all of this. This silver trim, I can't say I'd waste my time doing it, to be honest. I don't really like it that much. But, it might be a way of just using up a little bit more of something that isn't wonderful to begin with.
It didn't take, like when we did our other dyeing video, it really didn't take color very well that time.
It did not take any of the fabric dye, but it does. You can see where it's taken the alcohol ink.
Yeah.
But it's just not, I don't like it. So I probably wouldn't do any more of it.
It kind of makes you wonder what the heck it's made of. That nothing.
Well, exactly, yeah. And then here's one of these.
Oh, Yeah,
You
binder
know,
things.
you put them together.
Yeah.
So these would definitely be something other than, just having silver. A great way to color them to match your project. So I would definitely color more of those. The wooden pieces are interesting, and I like the spool. It's better than just a plain wood spool.
Oh,
Kind
that
of
is
gives it
cute.
an old look, I think.
Yeah.
And the Scrabble tiles, I do like the ones that came through, especially this T. I love how it came through on the other side. I would be more likely to use this side than that side. So they're kind of fun. I did this one. This was a black one, which I covered with a silver alcohol ink.
So it basically settled in that little design
Yeah.
because
So
it's like an
it
embossed thing or
yeah,
something.
it's okay. Better than just a black, I think, but worth experimenting more.
Okay,
This,
Jean is saying that adding airbrush medium to your acrylic paint will keep it wet longer. Oh, acrylic paint. Uh, yeah, but that does that help us at all with oh, just a minute. Does that help us at all with our alcoholing? Okay, and she's saying that she was bone on bone. It was either be homebound or get a knee replacement. She just did not do well initially with the pain.
okay, yeah, the pain is always a pain. So,
Just let thank you, Teresa. She's saying goodbye. She says, great timing. She can hear her husband's tummy growling all the way up here.
oh, thanks for coming and watching.
And Veronica Wilson has just shown up. Hi, Veronica.
So then we've got this little circle diamondy thing, which I colored red, which I really like. Although it's still, I don't know, I guess it's still a bit wet because I got a little bit on my hand, but
So is that a tiny little
cute.
brooch?
It's kind of like a little buckle almost.
Okay.
Um,
And are
think,
those stones?
I don't know what kind of quality they are, and I'm not sure where I got them from. Somebody at the retreat might have gave them to me. I can't remember. I've had them for a while, or maybe Kim sent them to me. But it colored nice, that's for sure. And then we've got, of course, these, which colored really, really good. I will definitely color a whole bunch of this because I have lots of this teal color, teal color. So those turned out really, really good. And sometimes, the cheaper stuff ends up dying better.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
and honestly, if the choice is between dyeing it and using it or letting it just languish in the drawer in the cupboard because it's ugly in its original state, we're better off dyeing it and
that's
using
right.
it.
Yeah. So here are the two cards. And I kind of like this one because I really like that I can see all my scrapes from my sanding block as well as the scrapes from this.
Yeah.
So this has a lot of potential, I think, for
Yeah.
future experiment for sure. But
Yeah.
cards work great for
Yeah.
alcohol inks, that's for sure. So we got that. I do like how this rose turned out. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a whole ton of these left. I think I got about another 10 or something. But I like them colored way more than I like them gold.
If I recall, you said that you used what, watermelon on the flower?
Yes, it was watermelon color. So it
See,
gave
and
it kind of a pink, light maroon color to it.
see on my laptop, it looks copper, and in that case, I think it looks awesome.
Well, yeah, I think because the silver or the gold in there makes it
Yeah,
look a little coppery, yes.
yeah, cool.
So I like that. Of course, my beads. And these are just really cheap little pearl beads from all that jewelry that I bought a while back. There was lots of like cheap pearl jewelry,
Let
which I
me
cut
just
apart.
let me interject here and say, for those of you who may not know Caroline's craft tree channel very well, she bought, was it 150 pounds?
It was probably close to 300 pounds.
300 pounds of jewelry. So
Yep.
she did several videos on the sorting, and well, the organizing. I don't know that you've done that many since then, showing how you're using all that stuff.
No, I
But
haven't. And so far, I haven't used a whole lot of it. I've
yeah,
used a lot of the charms in different projects and
yeah,
whatnot. So, but I've got more videos to come on that probably. This
yeah,
was a paint chip, just a real quick experiment. And I think this has good possibilities as well. So, good way to use up paint chips. The zipper, I really like how on the fabric, some spots picked up the ink and other spots didn't. No, the zipper's a little bit, I guess, because the alcohol ink does get a little sticky,
yeah,
but it did cover it. I only put alcohol ink on the one side, and it did go through to the back.
yeah,
So because it hasn't quite dried as much on this piece
yeah,
as I would like. And then the stickers, I love the difference in the stickers. And a great way to, if you see, you want to buy silver ones and you don't want a lot of silver, hopefully the color shows up good on that.
yeah,
And then, of course, these two pieces, which make a big difference on how they look.
yeah. I love that.
So, and that was just painting it on with a Q-tip. I didn't do the other side, but you could easily do the other side as well, depending on how you were going to use them. I was thinking like something like this. I would put it on something white here, maybe see it a little better. But with this using it, I'm thinking, a nice little picture in that circle,
Yeah,
and then have it like on a page and then put the 5 little dangles from it and just
yeah,
have that on a page of some kind,
yeah,
highlighting just a little thing in there.
yeah. Cool.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
But it gives, they were silver, they were kind of boring in a way, but that just livens them right up. So that's what I accomplished today.
Okay,
Oh, and this thing here was, I did this last, which
what is
uh,
it?
it's like a dangle, and I
Oh,
did this red and this green, but it didn't turn out. I don't know if it's because of what it is or the colors I used. I was kind of trying to make it look Christmassy, but
yeah.
yeah.
From here it looks black, so I don't know if the red
Yeah,
and green mixed and
it
make
is
mud.
quite black, but you can see green tinge here and red tinge there, but
Okay.
the colors aren't as bright as I thought they would be. But it was kind of a really dark blackish silver piece to begin with, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I did.
Okay. I'll now show and tell for moi. Okay. So I showed you. Let's do this. This was the bud vase that I did, and as you can see, it's those drops are still inside, are inside. Um, I could go back in with another color or another coat of the same color. Um, how this would fare, it could be, I can't remember who said, oh, Carol, that said that when she ran her tile through the dishwasher, the paint all came off, the ink all came off. So I don't know, maybe this becomes a hand wash thing, or maybe goes in the donation box. I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. Maybe I'll continue to use this. I cut that cheap pearl strand into sections. There is very little difference between those two pinks. I did use one of those colors is supposed to be different, but and this again was just done by, you know, the little Ziploc bag, shake, shake, shake theory. This is that metal backing plate for a cabinet pull. And I think there are some good possibilities here for achieving a real grunge type look and layering more colors on there. I don't have another one to show you the original color, but it was kind of that boring bronze effect. I had these, they're from the Lucky Cowgirl Motel. They're like tokens. They were, well, these were white. This was blue. So, you know, I guess a fun splash of color. Not particularly thrilled with how this went, but you know, it could be operator error. This is what the original color looked like. So, early on in the live, I did some shells in a plastic bag with a couple, a blue and a green, and I think they turned out really quite nice. So maybe those of you who weren't here right from the beginning, I do have this ugly little trivet that is all shells. So at some point, I guess I could cut these, that fishing line or whatever it is that's holding it all together and, you know, mass dye a bunch of those. You know, when you're a landlocked prairie kid, I don't have much desire to do anything with shells, to be honest. I did, whoops, those are tangled. I did these springs. This might have been sort of the ginger colored ink. And these I would use, you know, I mean, certainly some of these things could dangle from a tassel or like from a spine dangle, or use them in some other way as a journal topper, perhaps on a steampunk journal. So I like that. These were those little plastic frames. And just for comparison, that was the original color. This was drying very quickly, and I sort of just pounced on the color. Again, I think with this sort of when you're starting with a gold or brassy color, it's a good opportunity for trying to do a tortoise shell effect. So that might be something that I go back to again. This was just a little plastic, like kids' party favor. I hope you can see the cheapness across the miles. And I thought I was reaching for green, but supposedly this was black. It is sort of reading as a really dark teal. So I don't know if I didn't stir it well or whatever. Here are more, these are like little poker chips. Again, the danger with these and the bag thing is that some of them were sticking together, you know, because they're wet. So they're pretty variegated results, but still cool. If you like I can see drilling a hole in these and using them as a part of a dangle or a tassel, or I keep saying tassel as a dangle. I had the very brassy looking bulb pins. Oh, and a bonus hair. And so I think these are toned down just enough that I like them better than that. This guy maybe shouldn't even have been in there. Okay. I did a handful of paper clips. And of course, because they are made of different things and might have been different colors to begin with, the results, whoops, are different. So this one, I think, has some of the plasticky little, wrapping on it. Some of them are more coppery looking, which I love. But again, no one is going to be examining these for coverage. This has a lot of the little marks, divots in it. We all know which paper clips those are. So I think it just knocks back the silver, the normal silver color that we find when we thrift these things. So I think those, I'm really happy with how those are, and I'm just going to have to put them in a place that's accessible so I remember to use them. I am kind of in love with how these thrifted buckles turned out. This is really what makes me think that a person could do some really cool stuff with the tortoiseshell effect.
Yeah,
And of course,
those turned out
ooh,
really good.
yeah, and for those of us that like, oranges and copper and those sort of colors, it's, maybe all this really needs is a black or a really dark brown that would sort of bring on that authentic tortoiseshell look. Although now you can get tortoiseshell in every color. Oh, and this was a barrette. Um, I love these. These are just those cheap plastic crystals, like from some sort of a decorative thing. They're not glass at all. So I think those are pretty cool. But again, I love that color. So would I love it as much if it was a different color? Perhaps not. And I think, my lovelies, that is all for the show and tell. So I want to thank you, Caroline, for um, playing with me today. We
It was fun. And I would just like to add that it really opens up that sometimes, you see a bag and being, that we like to thrift. And, sometimes you buy a big bag of silver stuff, gold stuff, white stuff, yellow stuff, whatever. This opens up a whole new variety of why we should buy that big bag of whatever, because now we can color it and make our stash even bigger by adding more color to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I just have to go on the record as saying we're not suggesting that you rush out and buy anything more. Maybe what you need to do is shop your stash and see which of those things you have been avoiding because you hated the color or you just couldn't envision how it could look different or better. And
All, all that I can say is if you live in my area, stay out of my thrift stores.
you've been warned. For those of you who don't know, Caroline lives in Kelowna, British Columbia. And in her town, during the summer months, well, however long, the Lions Club has an awesome sale that she goes to every week without fail. And she has found some incredible deals there. So,
Yeah. And actually I actually live in Vernon, not Kelowna.
oh, sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
So
you just moved, so I'm not going to make you move again.
yeah. Yeah.
Don't make a liar out of me.
So yeah, I am so fortunate to have the Lions Club
Yeah,
for
and
at least
basically
half of the year.
nothing there is priced. You just make a donation. So
Yep.
I just read Jean's comment. I think she might have been referring to this. She says, "Aren't some shell crafts hideous?" Well, is there a better word than hideous to describe this? I don't know where I got this from, but honestly, this to me, I just find this so ugly. Um, So yeah, if I can turn it into something less hideous, then I'm all up for that.
The scary part of something like that is I
Yeah.
probably would have used that years ago for actually what the purpose of it was.
Well, and that's what makes all of us different. We have different
Yeah.
I just to me, and trust me, over the years, say it's souvenir, you go on travel somewhere and you think, well, I should bring home a piece of a souvenir of some sort from this locale or whatever. Um, yeah, I've got some pretty ugly stuff. I bet you I could look through my own jewelry, not thrifted stuff, but my own jewelry, and find a bunch of things that would benefit from a dye job.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for everyone who was here. Oh, I don't know where Judy G Junk Journals is from, but she's saying that she's marking her calendar for the Lions Club sale in Vernon.
Well, you look me up and I will be happy to take you and we'll go out for breakfast afterwards. And that's usually what I do. I meet up with my sisters. We do the Lions Club. We go to the farmer's market and then we go out for breakfast. So,
So
and
Car-
anybody that's in the area, look me up. I'll be happy to have you tag along.
okay, so
You
Caroline,
you can you can carry all my stuff for me.
that's what I was just going to say. Hey, Judy is in Alberta. Where in Alberta? We're probably neighbors. We can't sign off until she answers. Where in
So,
Alberta? That's what I was going to say, Caroline. That so if I come to BC to visit you, I could be your Sherpa. And
you sure can. I'll even buy the breakfast.
okay. Oh, she's in Lethbridge, so that's kind of a little bit far away. But I think Lethbridge is about 6 hours from where I am. But I'll tell you, my dear, if I'm ever going that way, I would certainly look you up and maybe we could have coffee or something.
Oh, for sure.
Um, okay. Thank you, everyone who was here live. I hope that you have been, well, I hope you enjoyed the entertainment, the blind leading the blind. I hope that you are inspired to dig out your own supplies if you have them, and maybe they've been collecting dust. And I also would like to welcome everyone who will be seeing this on the replay. And Caroline, same as last time, you'll be able to add this to your channel tomorrow. And I don't know, it's probably late in the game to be asking for suggestions, but I'm totally willing to play with you again if someone gives
Sounds
us
good.
if someone gives us an idea of what they'd like to have us tackle next. So
We could even just do some ephemera or something. Just do some crafting
well,
with some
yeah,
of this stuff.
yeah.
So
Putting our dyed stuff to use. That's a good idea.
yeah,
Caroline also does. Okay, what is that stuff called? I have to ask you this every time. That pin what?
the pin stitching.
Pin
So
stitching. Yeah,
yeah, it's basically you're doing stitching on paper, really.
yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe
I
that's
do have a
something.
few videos on my channel about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Jean, the first time that Caroline and I got together, we dyed doilies, trims, fabric, all sorts of stuff. Mine was almost a bit of, I did a follow up, almost a bit of a blooper reel. Um, and then I think we both ended up rinsing our stuff after the fact. So that live already exists on both our channels. But that's not to say that I wouldn't be game to do this again and be a little smarter next time. I was using up some thrifted tie dye dye tie dye dye. Anyway, she says she's going to look that up. Um, okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. We love having you present, and we shall see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
End stream.